Hey guys, Nate with PlayYourCourt.com. Today we're talking about the forehand fix and how to get rid of that concrete elbow once and for all. All right guys, so we're talking about how to fix your forehand, and we're going to be talking a lot about joint position in this particular video and finally get you that fix for the forehand you've been looking for. This video is for Play Your Court members 80 and below. If you're not familiar with their rating system, check out the platform. There you're going to find over 10,000 players within the community that you can link up to play practice matches or even get into the Challenge League to test some of your skills. And there we're also going to send you tailor-made instruction just for your skill level. All right, so let's jump into it today. Okay, so we're talking about the concrete elbow, and what we're talking about is a joint position that doesn't allow the elbow to drop, or it's something that we find when tension creeps in and it changes the nature of the swing path. So we see this all the way up at the top professional level. You'll hear announcers say, oh, he's super tight, concrete elbow. And then sometimes it's just, unfortunately, a mechanical flaw and unsound fundamentals. So what we're talking about with concrete elbow is when this elbow gets particularly high and the elbow is rising. And so what ends up happening here is we're not able to keep the racket at the ideal position of 3 o'clock in a 45-degree angle. Okay, so when the elbow floats, this angle changes, and therefore things get rather disjointed where the racket is coming back and the swing path ends up getting too big and causing all kinds of problems with timing. The other thing that we see quite a bit with this high elbow is the tendency for players to lead with their shoulder. All right, so you'll see this kind of rollover forehand, and what this is alluding to is putting the shoulder into position where you're almost clotheslining the ball, getting the racket to catch back up. And this position here, where the arm is elongated, the racket is stretched out, is not ideal for creating spin, power, or timing, giving you good contact. So let's talk about what we're looking for. We're talking about the 2 L's on the forehand. You have 2 positions that are absolute critical. Although styles may change on the ATP and WTA, obviously Kyrgios' forehand looks way different than Federer's, right? Serena's forehand may look very different than Halep, right? But they all have these 2 joint positions that are very similar. And these 2 L's are referring to this first L here, and then this second L, in which you're going to see from the back angle my arm here, okay? So whether it's in 90 or pulled out just a little bit, this is the first L, and the second L is here, all right? And this is going to fix this joint position, all right? So before, where my elbow had the tendency to climb up, my arm is pulling up, and therefore the racket is floating with the elbow. Now I want to pull this elbow in, all right, and get it into this 45-degree position that's going to allow me to get into extension and then rotate through with the hips to get it to come through, all right? So the correct version here, I'm setting up and I'm going to continue to rotate all the way back. You'll notice how far my left hand went there. This is absolutely critical, all right, because even if you do this, this may look correct. If you drop the racket here, and I understand Roger drops the racket extremely early, this is really hard in order to produce kind of the depth and power you may be looking for. What we want to do is go ahead and fully rotate, and from here as the arm gets into extension, as I fire the hip, the racket naturally enters the lag and then the slot, and then it catches back up to the ball. All right, so we're going to grab a little tool, something you can make at home that's also going to help you find this. I'll show you that drill now. All right, so you may have seen this tool, this little homemade tool, in another video that we did on the serve, but this is a great tool that we can use on understanding the lag and how we're using the hip to generate this power. Because I think sometimes what ends up happening is that when we have this concrete elbow, when we're raising the elbow, we find linear striking. We're going through the ball, and we can find some power because we're able to muscle it. And what's really escaping us is where we're keeping the hand loose and firing with the legs to the hips and allowing that hand to come through using that inertia from the ground, giving us that big energy out to the ball. And that's what this tool is going to do. Very, very simple. Purchased some stockings, and I took 3 balls. You can use 2, you can use 4. The main thing is to make sure the end is weighted, all right? And what this is going to do is really help illustrate the way the forehand works. So I want it fairly close up, right? I don't want to have it at full length. I want to go ahead and wrap my hand up fairly high, all right? And what I'm going to do to initiate is I'm going to create that L position, right? You can see my arm is in 90 here. This would be the racket. And what I'm going to do is as I rotate, I'm going to let it go and allow it to get to extension. And the weight of the ball in the stockings is going to pull itself around. Okay, so one more time. I've got the two L's. I've got the position that I want to be in. I'm loading. I'm dropping back to here. And this motion, although slower, needs to have enough momentum that when I release my hand, I go into extension. You can tell the ball there, as I go here, goes into extension, all right? And then my hip is the driving force at getting this racket back through the slot, and then the lag, right? Because the weight at the end of the stocking is gonna lag and then snaps around. Show you to you one more time. So the two L's, I get through extension, and the hips drive, getting it to come back around. All right, guys, so we've talked about the joint position and the two L's. We've used the homemade tool in order to find out how to fire the hip. Now it's time to put it into action. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start in this L and then just rotate back in order to find extension and then fire the hip. And this will get rid of that concrete elbow and have us hitting optimal forehands in no time. All right, I hope you got a lot of value from today's instruction. Just remember, get the arms in the two L's to find the correct joint position, get the arm rotated all the way back, and that tool, the 30 tennis balls and the stocking, super easy to make at home, and that way we can start feeling the way this hip actually fires, all right? And then get out there and start hitting some balls. Guys, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you loved it and you never want to miss another Play Your Court video, hit subscribe, and make sure you check out the link below to check out the platform at Play Your Court, where we're going to pair you with players at the same skill level and send you tailor-made instruction. We'll see you soon.